This film was never supposed to matter. John Ford didn't want to make it. John Wayne wasn't excited about it. And the studio only agreed to it out of pure necessity. Yet somehow Rio Grande became one of the most quietly powerful westerns ever made. Today we're uncovering the hidden story behind Rio Grande, the film that completed John Ford's Cavalry trilogy and accidentally changed classic cinema forever. Most people remember John Wayne in uniform, sweeping landscapes, and a restrained love story. What they don't realize is that Rio Grande existed for one reason only. It was a bargain. Ford desperately wanted to make The Quiet Man a personal passion project he believed in with all his heart. The studio didn't. They thought it was risky, sentimental, and unprofitable. Their deal was simple. Make a safe, traditional Western first. If it succeeds, you get your Irish movie. Ford agreed. That's how Rio Grande was born. John Wayne, meanwhile, was already tired of cavalry films. He had done two similar movies with Ford and knew exactly what to expect. Ford's harsh directing style, constant pressure, and emotional manipulation were legendary. Wayne later admitted this film felt like an obligation, not a passion project. Still, he gave one of his most controlled and emotionally subtle performances. To keep the film under budget, Wayne made a huge sacrifice. He gave up his share of the profits, a decision that later cost him more than $100,000. He did it anyway, because if Rio Grande failed, The Quiet Man would never exist. That loyalty would pay off in film history. Maureen O'Hara returned as Wayne's co-star, even though she was only 29 years old while playing the mother of a teenage boy. The age gap made no sense on paper, but audiences believed it completely. O'Hara carried such emotional authority that Ford knew viewers wouldn't question it. Some of the film's most impressive moments were also the most dangerous. The famous Roman riding sequence wasn't done by stunt doubles. The actors had just weeks to learn how to stand on two galloping horses at full speed. If they fell, there were no safety nets. Ford shot it from afar, so it would look effortless. Romance, however, made Ford uncomfortable. He delayed the emotional reunion and kiss between Wayne and O'Hara until the very last day of filming. Ford was a master of war and sacrifice, but tenderness was harder for him to direct. When the moment finally arrived, it felt real because it had been earned. The studio interfered constantly. They forced musical numbers into the film, something Ford hated. Ironically, one of those singers, Ken Curtis, would later become a television legend on Gunsmoke, and even marry Ford's daughter. The film also quietly rewrote history. The real events that inspired the story were far darker and far more complex. Hollywood softened the truth, reshaping it to fit the era's expectations and politics. And despite its title, Rio Grande wasn't filmed anywhere near the Rio Grande. Every scene was shot in Utah, with the Colorado River standing in for history. Ford dismissed the film as a necessary step. Orson Welles later called it a masterpiece. Rio Grande made just enough money to unlock The Quiet Man, one of the greatest films of all time. And that's the irony. A movie born from compromise became one that endured. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden stories behind classic Hollywood, like the video, subscribe, and stay with us. Because the films you thought you knew still have secrets waiting to be told.